Hello and welcome back to my channel. Now we're back today with some Doki Doki. We're going to do some side stories, and by some I mean the next one to Trust that I put up I think 10 days ago. I know I said I'd put up them kind of sooner, but if you are in Ireland or the UK, you're hit with like a massive heat wave. It has knocked me out. I've tried to go out on it. I did it, but I suffered the consequences. I am very much sunburnt and I have a horrible heat rash. It is not fun at all. And then it was my birthday 2 days ago, so I was out all day. And yeah, very, very busy. Today is absolutely melting. I'm dying sitting here. I have a window open. I have everything. And I'm still melting. It's, I don't like it. This is why I like the cold better. See, if when you're too hot, there's only a certain amount of things you can do, but when you're too cold, you can just keep layering yourself. Eventually, you'll get warm. But anyway, we're here to do a side story. This one right here, part 2. So if you haven't watched part 1, go watch that. I did go into a little bit of detail about some of them undertones to the main story, even though there's no, you know, it says here, it's unrelated. But there is little undertones that you do pick up on, which is super duper interesting. And I'm hoping to get more in here. So we're just going to click this. We're going to say yes, yes we do. That's what we want. And I actually brought a drink this time. Any of you that were there for, I think it was a stream on the same day I uploaded that video, my voice hurt so much. I think I was streaming for like 3 hours and my voice was killing me. I couldn't talk the next day. It was horrible. Okay, let's do a little bit of reading. That's the plan here, but it's so warm I can't concentrate. Although Monika should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. And now this poem is the one that I really kind of looked into that had, the underlying tones. Also with the heat, I stutter a lot more. It happens. We love it. So I wonder if she'll bring it up. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? And here come for me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time I didn't ask about her own feelings, so much for this stupid vision. I wonder if she will bring it up, because it'd be interesting to see. So that does explain how Monika knew in the main story that she was depressed. For this, there is like a few. I should have put it. I'll be sure to put a warning, a little bit of a spoiler warning, and I'll try and put it, beforehand. I completely forgot. Well, I don't know. But it does explain how Monika knew. So there's that. Is everything okay? Again with this look. I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most. My dog is growling. Oh my good god. Do you mind? I don't know if you heard that, but she only acts up if I'm recording, never when I'm streaming. It's so weird. It could be the heat bothering her too. Responds quietly, what are you talking about? But as she said that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Blankly head, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me, I don't want that. Literally the same thing that happened in the main story, but we're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. Again, from what I mentioned in the first one, this polar opposite person of Monika. It's very interesting. It's just so different, but it's an unnerving type of different, I want to be here for you as much as I can as you're here for me. After a long moment passes in silence, the air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday, it was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do all of this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Oof. For struggling through frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things, but as unfair as it is for Monika to pry, it's also painful for Monika to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I nearly read that backwards. I just respected your privacy. I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Again, this kind of polar opposite thing that we're seeing, I don't know, I don't like it. It makes me feel like something is about to happen every time I click, and it's slightly unnerving. And by slightly, I mean a lot. Like, it's killing me more than a heat. I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Oh, it's a big pause. This is the Literature Club. This is a place where people can express themselves in ways that life normally doesn't allow them. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Write the way into your head or whatever. So I just want you to promise that you remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want you to be here. What? I want to be here for you when you need. Oh, I'm so dumb. This heat is literally killing me. I can't function. I just can't. I like this entire video should just be me complaining about the heat, to be honest. I want us to be ourselves like that. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monika returns Sayori's smile. I promise. So they're actually quite good friends. Like, obviously I knew they were good friends, when, when the main story, but like, I never kind of realized that they were like proper, like, good friends. It's just crazy. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. And with that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? But what about recruitment? That's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. I think I just need like some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You just kind of need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. I know I keep saying it in every Doki Doki video. I would love to write poetry. I would love it. I would love to be able to write. I'd love to be able to do all of these things, but my brain just can't. And it sucks. It sucks so much. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionism mind on this one. You can just start off by writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. I thought she said turn off your feelings. You can get your feelings down first, then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad when you have to go from one end to the other. It's more like a college, where you find all the things you want to put into it, and then you arrange them in a pretty way. Oh, not college, a collage. Oh my god. Brain! Please. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way, but it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. Why am I stuttering? I understand. Miss Kerr, I don't think you do. Now the question is, why did you start a literature club if you cannot write poetry? That's what I want to know. So I think Monika should not be the president, because she couldn't even write poetry. Yeah, I always get caught up in how it sounds and then I forget about what's actually important. Stop being a perfectionist, you idiot. I'm just kidding. Are you calling me an idiot? It's not. But you're not supposed to police your feelings. That's actually. I like that. Very smart. Be as dramatic as you want. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad about myself and then I did the exact thing anyway. This is really gonna take some getting used to. English, please, I believe in you. I am so very sorry. I'm going to again blame the heat, aka global warming. But also you, of course. Continues to exercise jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quiet, quite a struggle to write down without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. But it's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. I have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing with you. Are they gonna kiss? When are they gonna kiss? I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Another day passes. As usual, Monika is the first one into the club room. With her is a printout of the revised literature club flyer filled with all the new ideas Monika and Sayori came up with. If only this flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old one. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that we can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monika and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from the students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Was I always as bad as expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? Big Club was always a rigid structure formulating. It's suffocating. It's such a different. It's such a different kind of thing for Monika. I think it's more of an insight into Monika than Suri. Um, I need to learn to express myself for real. Monika pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She pulls the tip of the pen and firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blotch of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monika lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her fingers across it. As she does, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monika's canvas. Out of spite for herself, Monika presses the pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monika. Just move your hand. Monika writes. This is what I got for seeking perfectionism, a stain. Interesting. Monika slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Approach your desk, then stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day. I don't know. I wonder who's going to be the next person to join. The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard. She didn't tell us what happened. The club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. Sorry. It's just so hard to be vulnerable. Can I trust you? You can trust me with anything. Oh no. Oh no. I hate this. I don't. Oh. I wish there was a way to save her. Like, no matter how many times I've played this game, it this is really, really hard for me. So if I can do it, then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me. Just because of the promises I want to. It just feels right. This is the Literature Club. I trust you more than I'm scared. Again, it's just so weird seeing that they actually have a friendship that isn't, you know. Like, I know this video is like I do have a lot of spoilers in here. So I will have like maybe a little kind of little thingy somewhere saying that there is going to be spoilers. Because I think it's a bit too late for me to, you know. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in a gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry about me too much. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts I have. It's so much easier just to smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wanted to say. But she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that everyone knew about it. They wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. I just want everyone to be happy. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. I don't know. I don't like. I just wish. I remember I was talking to this person. We both play Doki Doki. And I don't think you can get any sort of mods, whatever, but they were like, oh, I'm actually into coding, so, you know, one day we should just kind of do our own, like, mini one. Obviously, you know, like, taking the piss, you know, copyright issues and all that. But make it so you can change the storyline a little bit and give her just something a little bit more, because I would love to have more of her. But yeah, it would be great. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. The other part of me, I think, just feels like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what this club is supposed to do, it's supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do, especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence and our friendship doesn't have to change. Oh, look at her. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but already means as much to me. Monika feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotion radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave. I don't even compare. I still just can't get over this relationship that they have. I I thought it was kind of like a little bit of like a piss take more than anything when I first went through it. That Sayori was just being used. But if nothing else, can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. Oh, oh, little cutscene thingy. Oh, realistically, and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monika's shoulder. Through their contact, Monika can also feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monika realizes that all the days that have passed, this one is the one where she really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. Kiss. You can say anything, I'll never judge you. I still think they should kiss. I promise. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say things she's never dared say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. Oh no. Look at her. I can't. She suppressed a sob as a tear fell down her cheek. I'm, I don't like at all. I'm not good at anything, and it just feels like everyone has to put up with me, and I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me. I just want to die. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monika becomes determined to keep her own. She wants to be what Sayori needs right now. She won't let any sadness show. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. This is so sweet. Oh, look at her. I can't. Oh my god. And Monika can't magically make them all. What she can do is help, so I battle them like any good friend would do. Oh my god, I just want more for her. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we were never gonna get any more members, I'd still be happy. And that's what brought you here, Jesus. You brought us a vision, you also brought happiness. What's your favorite what? What was that stutter? And that's your favorite thing to do, right? What's your breath? Oh, is my dog barking again? Hey, no growling! She's very angry, girl. I'm here whenever you need me, but any other time I'll be sure that things are just the way they usually are, if that's what makes you happy. You are. To exchange smiles. Hold on. Just a moment. My dog barking. My ever so apologies. It is pretty scary to try to talk to a doctor. So that's understandable, and a lot of people think that as well. So it's really kind of. I feel like it shows, like, obviously not the main story, because the main story is kind of bonkers, but I feel like this side story in particular really kind of shows depression. You know. Well, of course, it will always be your choice. But if you're ever looking to find the courage to do it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I can say that's definitely one thing that makes me happy. But I want to get a snack first. Who is it? 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 I think it's Yuri. Ah! We didn't get to know! That's so irritating. Ugh. Okay. Let's have a look, see what's new here. Probably the poems. This one. Not seeing anything else here. And we got some new music too. That I'm not seeing. This. But yeah. So the next one. Which one is the next one? That's understanding. I think once you've these two done, then the next two unlock, and they're to do with Monika, I believe. I'm not 110% sure. I will look into it a little bit more to know if it is to do with Monika. I am about 98% sure it is. Hopefully they aren't too long and I could just get them in the same video. That'd be great. Perfect. But you know, I have a feeling that they're probably gonna be long because this one was too. Anyway, if you liked this this video, the side story, any of that, please let me know in the comments. Like the video, do any of that cool funky stuff. Feel free to subscribe, join my Discord server, and again, if you have any, you know, other visual novels that are kind of like the same, kind of like creepy, kind of keeping you on your toes, fuck with your head type of things, let me know. I'd love to do them. It'd be great. Also, if you do like the streams I do on Corpse Factory, I will be doing another one. Depending on when this goes up. If it goes up on the 13th, it will be tomorrow, and if it goes up on the 14th, it'll be later that night. But of course, if you join my Discord server, you will get a little update just before I go live, so you never miss anything. Or of course, you can, you know, subscribe and hit the bell. That always helps. It helps quite a lot, actually. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.